Good afternoon. My name is Jorge Newbery, and I'm the founder and CEO of American Homeowner Preservation. And what we do is we purchase pools of defaulted mortgages from banks, typically secured by homes in low and moderate income neighborhoods across the country. We buy these at big discounts, and then we work with the families. If they want to stay in the home, we can offer modifications that are typically transformative. Because we can buy these mortgages so cheap, we can drop their principal, drop their payments, and forgive a large part of any delinquency that they have. Baltimore, Detroit, two big markets for us, but this is across the country, from coast to coast. Much of the country has recovered. There's been appreciation. Many suburban and higher income neighborhoods have seen appreciation in the last 3-4 years, but the poorest communities of our country have seen little or no appreciation. In fact, home with values in every price category, from $50,000 on up to over $1 million, have seen appreciation in the last year. The only one in which price category in which the values are dropping is home values of $50,000 and under. And in fact, right now in those communities, 53% of families who own homes with values of less than $50,000 are underwater, and not just underwater by a little bit, underwater by more than 25%. And so these families in all likelihood will never see equity in their lifetimes with those mortgages. So when we can buy them, I mean, the good news is that someone may owe $100,000 on a mortgage secured by a home that is only worth $30,000, and we can buy that mortgage for probably $9,000, so 30% of the $30,000. And with that, we can offer transformative modifications. In some of these communities, especially in San Francisco, you're saying, where can you buy a home for $30,000? And I'll tell you, in Baltimore, we have homes $5,000 and $10,000 values. And these are homes that actually people can live in. Say Detroit, I mean, there are homes that are nice looking homes that are habitable, value $5,000, $7,000. So this is a huge problem because many times those homes have loans of $100,000 or more that are the fallout from the housing crisis of 10 years ago. And so this is what we're trying to remedy. And in specific to this panel, many of these neighborhoods are unfortunately ripe for gentrification. And I suppose it could be fortunate or unfortunate, but when gentrification comes at the cost of displacement of families who have maybe been in those neighborhoods for years and decades and generations, and we think that the better course of action is to displace those families and bring in more affluent residents. In many cases, I see that as a problem, and it's not that it's the municipalities will argue that the tax base has gone up. Hey, there are these new wealthier residents, and now they can support these other businesses. But what happened to the businesses that were there helping the residents many years ago? Many times these were small businesses owned by people in the neighborhood, and those are closing and are long gone in many cases. And that's unfortunate. It's, you know, the wealth gap is widening, the income gap is widening, and until we acknowledge that and reckon with these neighborhoods and find out solutions that can power these neighborhoods, I think we have a big problem. One final point is we recently, to address Amy's comment, historically our company has been supported by accredited investors, which are the wealthiest 3 or 5% of the country. We're the only people who could participate in our investments, and that always seemed wrong, because not that we didn't appreciate the fact that the investors were participating, but it seemed like the rich helping the poor, and it didn't seem right. So the good news is that recently we were qualified by the Securities and Exchange Commission to offer a Regulation A+ offering, which actually allows investors, accredited and non-accredited, to participate. And we dropped the minimum investment to $100, so it is truly accessible to everybody, and now people in every community can help their neighbors.